In a world painted with shades of ancient green, where giant ferns touched the sky and rivers carved paths through time, lived Arlo. He was a gentle brachiosaurus, with a neck that stretched towards the heavens and a heart as vast as the plains he roamed. His days were spent in quiet contemplation, munching on the juiciest leaves and watching the world go by. In that same primeval forest, a different rhythm pulsed. It was the heartbeat of Rex, a tyrannosaurus whose roar could shatter the silence of the deepest jungle. Feared by all, Rex was the apex predator, a symbol of raw power and untamed ferocity. His life was a constant hunt, a solitary dance of survival. One fateful day their worlds collided. Arlo had wandered near a steep muddy ravine, his heavy foot slipping on the wet earth. He tumbled down, his long neck trapped awkwardly beneath a fallen petrified log. He was helpless, a feast for any passing carnivore. As dusk painted the sky in hues of orange and purple, a shadow fell over him. It was Rex. Fear gripped Arlo, but instead of the sharp teeth he expected, he saw a flicker of something else in Rex's intelligent eyes. Curiosity? Rex circled him, his massive head low. He could have ended Arlo's life in an instant. But he didn't. Instead, with a mighty heave of his powerful skull, he nudged the heavy log, inch by painful inch, until Arlo could finally pull his neck free. Arlo looked at Rex, not with fear, but with a dawning sense of wonder. An unspoken understanding passed between them, a silent pact in the heart of the wilderness. From that day on, an impossible friendship blossomed. Arlo's gentle presence seemed to soothe Rex's restless spirit, while Rex's fierce protection gave Arlo a newfound confidence. They would often meet by the great river, Arlo grazing peacefully on one bank, Rex watching over him from the other. The forest, once a place of fear and division, became their shared sanctuary. They showed each other their worlds, Arlo pointing out the sweetest ferns with his nose, and Rex leading Arlo to hidden waterfalls where the water was coolest. Then the world began to change. A strange hum vibrated through the earth, a deep, unsettling tremor that had nothing to do with footsteps or falling trees. The sky at night, usually a blanket of familiar stars, began to glow with an eerie orange light on the horizon. The air grew thick with a fine gray dust that tasted of ash and sorrow. The smaller creatures of the forest grew silent and disappeared into their burrows, their fear a palpable thing. One evening, as they stood atop a high ridge, the ground shook more violently than ever before. In the distance, the great volcano that had slept for generations belched a plume of black smoke. A fiery rock, a tear from the sky, streaked across the darkening heavens, followed by another and then another. It was a rain of fire. The sky was falling. Panic erupted. Herds scattered in terror, their cries echoing through the valleys. Rex let out a roar, not of aggression, but of alarm, urging Arlo to move. They ran, the gentle giant and the fearsome king, side by side, not as predator and prey, but as friends against the end of their world. The forest they loved was ablaze, the air choked with smoke. They sought refuge in a deep cave system Rex knew, a place of echoing darkness. The world outside roared and cracked, a symphony of destruction. In the gloom they huddled close, the warmth of their bodies a small comfort against the chilling finality of the disaster. Arlo rested his immense head near Rex, a final trusting gesture. The tremors eventually subsided, the fiery rains ceased. Silence, profound and absolute, fell upon the land. When they finally emerged, the world they knew was gone. The vibrant green was replaced by a blanket of gray ash. The sky was a hazy, permanent twilight. The sun was a pale, forgotten ghost. There was no food, no water, only desolation. For days they walked through the ghostly landscape, their hope dwindling with each step. Rex, the mighty hunter, could find no prey. Arlo, the great grazer, found no leaves to eat. His immense strength began to fail him. One day, he could walk no further. He lay down in the soft ash, his breathing shallow. Rex stayed by his side, nudging him, trying to urge him on, but Arlo's time was over. He closed his ancient eyes one last time, his thoughts on a green world and an impossible friendship. Rex let out a final heartbreaking roar that echoed across the empty, silent world. It was not a roar of a king, but a cry of loss for the only friend he had ever known. He laid his head down next to Arlo's, and in the twilight of their age, the last two dinosaurs on a dying planet waited for the end, together.